Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Innal hamdalillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh. Wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlilhu fala hadiya lahu. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. أوصيكم وإياي أولا بتقوى الله فقد فاز المتقون. Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. قال الله تعالى بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. وقال الله أيضا يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به وأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. وبعد فإن خير الكلام كلام الله وأحسن هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وصحبه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها كل محدثة بدعة كل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu'alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep on guiding us and keep on shower His mercy and blessing upon us, upon every Muslim wherever they are, male and female. For those who have passed away, we never forget to pray for them. May Allah forgive their sins, whether it's minor, major. Allah is all forgiving and most merciful. The important thing, we must not forget to ask Allah for forgiveness. Secondly, we also have to remember a lot of our brothers and sisters, whether we know them or not, but every believing male and female is our family. We have to remember them in our prayer by asking Allah to forgive them. For those who are not well, may Allah cure them as soon as possible. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for whatever trial they are facing. We have few names to mention. We hope all of us will always remember to pray for all these good sisters and brothers who have not been well. Sister Fauzia, of course, Datuk Wan Hashimi, Ibu Leti, and Abdurrahman. So we ask all our fellow student of knowledge who are following this program, please don't forget the name that I've mentioned. Number 1, Sister Fauzia. Number 2, Datuk Wan Hashimi. Number 3, Ibu Leti. Number 4 is Abdurrahman. And also to whoever his name or her name is not been mentioned by us today, who are not been well, remember, Allah is the healer. And we as fellow family members always remember one another in our prayer. Allah Rabbul Alameen remind us, O people, Ayyuhan Nas. Now He's not talking about just the Muslim in this ayah. In the first ayah, Allah always remind us about those who are believers. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu taqullaha haqqa tuqatih wa la tamutunna illa wa antum muslimun. Talking about the believer. But the second ayah in Surat Al-Nisa, verse number 1, Surat Al-Nisa, Allah said, O people, O mankind. So here now Allah is addressing every one of us. Be faithful, be connected, have taqwa towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is our creator. The one who created all of us is Allah Rabbul Alameen. Whether they accept him, acknowledge him is a second matter. But the real creator, God, the real true God is only one. The God of Adam and Eve, the God of Noah, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Ismail, the God of Moses, the God of David, the God of Jesus, the God of Muhammad, the God of all of us is Allah, who created us from a single soul. Now Allah is reminding us about our beginning. It's very important to have this understanding. Yeah? Allah said, we created you from one single soul, from Adam. Even Eve is from Adam. Created from Adam, its mates, and that's where Mother Eve came into the picture, and dispersed from both of them many men and women, and from one father, then one mother, then we all was created and made by Allah into nation and tribes. And this is what Allah said, وَاتَّقَ اللَّهَ الَّذِي تَسَاءَلُونَ بِهِ وَأَرْحَامٍ. We must remember Allah, be faithful to our through whom we demand things from one another. We always need one another. We compliment each other. We help each other. We remind each other. That is life. Life is not just you or me, but is everybody. No one survives without depending on something. And no one can survive without the will of Allah Almighty. Then Allah commands us to cherish the ties of the womb. Allah wants us to acknowledge, to be thankful, to be grateful, and to be careful about our relationship. Of course, in a relationship, there is up and down. But when you have any problem, brothers and sisters, as believers, Allah have commanded us in the Quran. فَإِن تَنَازَعْتُمْ فِي شَيْءٍ فَرُدُّوهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ إِن كُنتُمْ تُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ ذَلِكَ خَيْرٌ وَأَحْسَنُ تَأْوِيلًا. If you want the best result, to solve whatever problem, dispute, disagreement among you, being human, we do have this up and down, disagreement, dissatisfaction, then Allah is guiding us. If you have all these issues, it's sure to come. Allah command you and me, فَرُدُّوهُ إِلَى اللَّهِ. Come back, return back to Allah's guidance, the Holy Quran, and the teaching of His Messenger, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, was sent with a message, a very holistic message. This is what we always remind ourselves and our student of knowledge, our jama'ah, our community. What Al-Khadim always provide for the community, the Ummah, is holistic, is a knowledge from cradle to grave. Remember, from cradle to grave, from the day you were born, we have taught you how to receive the newborn baby. Islamically, follow the guidance of Islam. You have the tahniq, you have the halaq, the shaving of the hair, you have the akikah, the slaughtering of an animal as a sign of gratitude thankfulness to Allah Almighty who gave us a new baby boy or girl. For a boy, 2 sheep minimum. For a girl, 1 sheep. Example. We have been guiding, coaching, reminding every student of us from cradle to grave what to do, how to move on. Why? Because life is a transit from Allah. We are not going to live here for long. If we follow the guidance from the beginning to the end, then we have a good beginning, and with the will of Allah, we will have a good and better ending. The beginning, there will be a lot of challenges, up and down, but we hope towards the end, we are very stable now. And we are firm with what we believe. And then we'll have a very smooth and good ending. Husnul Khatimah. And remember, Allah warned us. Allah is ever watchful over us. Inna Allah kana alaykum raqiba. Yeah? He is there to monitor what we are doing. So let us try our level best to keep ourselves pure in heart and good mind, not corrupted mind, so that we all will have a good ending. Allah also reminds us, هو الذي بعث في أميين في الأميين رسولا منهم يتلو عليهم آياته ويزكيهم ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة وإن كانوا من قبل لفي ضلال مبين. In Surah Jum'ah, verse 2, Surah 62, chapter 62, verse 2, Allah said, It is He, Allah, the Almighty, the All-Knowing, the All-Seeing, have sent among the unlettered people a messenger. What do you mean by unlettered? A lot of people, including all of us, was born without knowing anything. We don't have any knowledge. We are all unlettered in the beginning. And also a group of people known as the unlettered one, the pagan, the Jahiliyyah, who do not know a lot of things. But Allah is not just going to leave you like that. He sent a messenger, the great teacher, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to them to do what? Yeah, to exploit their weaknesses, to oppress them, to use them, to take a right on them. No, the Prophet was not here to cause any harm to anybody, even those who are so ignorant. But the Prophet is not here to try to take them for a right or to exploit their weaknesses. But he was sent to them to recite to them the ayah, the book of Allah, the word of Allah. Why the ayah, the Quran is so important? Because the ayat of Allah is very pure, not polluted at all, very just, full of wisdom. Allahu Akbar. The book of Allah, as the Quran, the last testament, who was sent by Allah to confirm what was revealed early, the Old Testament and the New Testament. And this is the only book that Allah promised to protect. You don't get this ayah in any other books except the Holy Quran. Inna nahnu nazzalna zikra wa inna lahu lahafizun. Indeed, we are the one who revealed this last revelation, the last book, the Holy Quran. And we, Allah is telling all of us, we will protect the authenticity of this book. Nobody can make any changes. Anyone who make any changes, we will detect it very, very fast. Alhamdulillah, we have been blessed with this book. And only through this book and the wisdom that is in this book. The wisdom was shared to us by Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu, the one who was given by Allah this book to explain to us what do Allah want us to do from cradle to grave. Remember that. And this book is sure Zakihim will purify our soul so that we are not be corrupted. And our mind will always have good thoughts, good knowledge, information. Meaning, when your heart is pure, if anything comes to your mind, you will filter it with the book of Allah, not with anything else. Allah Himself said, "In ja'akum fasikum binaba'in fatabayyanu." Ya ayyuhallazina amanu, in ja'akum fasikum fatabayyanu. O you who believe, Allah is telling us who say, I believe in Allah. I believe all of us who are following this program, we are all believers. Now Allah is telling us, if we are a believer, we must follow the book of Allah. And the book of Allah is telling us, when there is any news, any whispering that reaches you, and you want to entertain, please filter it. Check the news, whether it is true, half true, or it is just falsehood, a lie. That's how we move on. That's how we can keep our soul pure, our mind not corrupted, so that our body language is always positive. And this is what the book can do to us. And the reason Allah is telling us this, because Allah wants us to be guided. Allah wants us to be the people who have wisdom, not just knowledge. And He knows that previously we are all astray. We are not guided. We are guided by our nafs, our feeling. And our feeling is full of corruption. Don't allow ourselves to be corrupted, brother and sister. Enough. It's time for us to reflect. It's time for us at least to save our soul. Sometimes the people who see that you are so good, they don't like to be good, or they don't like you to be better than them. So they try to corrupt you. And suddenly, you are not aware, because you look at the person, he seems to be a good guy. Yeah, maybe he's your friend, maybe he's part of your family. But when you talk about the truth do not recognize a person. The truth is the truth. Even an ugly person come to talk to you, tell you something. If the truth is from Allah, we have to accept. Even a blind man come to you, even a black slave come to you. If what he say is from the book, you have to listen. And that's why Ali radiallahu anhu, the last caliph of our Prophet, always remind his colleague, his friend, unzuru ila ma qal, la tanzur ila man qal. Look into who is What is being said to you, don't look at who is talking to you. But in general, we humans are naive, weak. If he's our friend, we entertain. You want to entertain, nobody can stop you. But you cannot endorse and say, oh, is that true? Until you use both of your ears. Listen from the right, also listen from the left. If you want. If not, you just stay away. Don't allow all this whispering to corrupt your mind. And from having good feeling to one another as fellow believers, fellow family members, fellow mankind, now we are starting to develop hatred, anger, doubts. And this is not what Allah wants from us, brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah, once again, we always are thankful for those who have been consistent following our enrichment program. The last class, last Sunday, we were talking still in the book Life in Al-Barzakh, page 215. Before we move to page 216, let me recall back what we have learned last week. There are a few hadiths that we shared with all of you about the janazah prayer. This is what we say, holistic knowledge is from cradle to grave. We are friends not only when we are young, we are friends until we are teenagers, we are old, and we still remember each other and when we die. That is our relationship. It didn't just end like that, but we still remember, of course. Our deeds may end somewhere, but our prayer never ends. So the Prophet said, one hadith, ما من ميت تصلي عليه أمة من المسلمين يبلغون 100 كلهم يشفعون له إلا شفعوا فيه إلا غفر له. Whenever a group of Muslims reaching 100 in number, performing the funeral prayer for a deceased person, male or female, or interceding, the shafa'ah, interceding on his behalf, their intercession is granted. By who? By Allah. Allah. If everybody is asking me, Allah forgive the soul of so and so, Allah will forgive. The other second hadith, Ibn Abbas, ما من مسلم يموت فيقوم على جنازة 40 رجلا لا يشركون بالله شيئا إلا شفعهم الله فيه. Whenever a Muslim, male or female, pass away, and 40 men pray over his janazah prayer, funeral prayer. That means they participate in the janazah prayer. But the 40 men are the people who have never committed shirk. None of them joining anything with Allah in worship. That means these 40 Muslim men are free from shirk. Do you think it's easy to get 40 men today who is free from shirk, brother and sister? Wallahu a'lam. Because a lot of us who call ourselves Muslim have involved in shirk. Either you're involved in major or in minor shirk. A lot of us. We don't even care about shirk today. Using talisman, amulet, is shirk. Man allaqa tamimatan faqad ashrak, the Prophet said. Whoever wear any talisman, amulet, hanging thing and say that these verses protect me, no, you must recite the verses, not just hang the verses of Allah and hope that the one that you hang will protect you. When you read and you believe and you act upon what Allah wants you to do from the verses of the Quran, that ayat will protect you. A lot of people don't do that anymore. They believe that this stone, this ring, can protect you from the danger, and all these are shirk. And the worst shirk that the Prophet feared most is shirk asghar. Not the big one. The big is easy for you to understand, to see, but the small one is like a black ant walking on a black marble in a very dark night. You cannot see. And what is that shirk, brothers and sisters? What is the shirk that the Prophet feared most? That all of us exposed to it. I think you will have the answer. I don't know whether you need me to give you the answer, because I have shared with all of you this knowledge before. It's not new. But anyhow, I have to share it with you. There is riya, showing off. The little knowledge you have, you try to show off. The little extra wealth you have, you try to show off. The little intelligence that Allah give it to you, the intellect you have, you try to show people that you know everything. Na'uzubillah. The little authority you have, you try to boast around. Don't have to do that. The best among us are those, the more they have, the more humble they are. The more they know, the less judgmental they are. They don't judge people. They always have hope. They always talk good about one another. They don't pick all the minor thing and make it big. Because the Prophet said, Inna Allah yuhibbu ma'ali al-umur wa yaqaw safsafa. Allah loves people who highlight important matters for the benefit of the ummah. And He hates people who pick up all the minor things to make it big. Na'uzubillah, may Allah protect us, brothers. But this hadith, the second one, the first talk about 100 people. The second hadith, 40 men. And the last hadith that I'd like to share with you, مَا مِن مَيِّتٍ يُصَلِّي عَلَيْهِ أُمَّةٌ مِّنَ النَّاسِ إِلَّا شُفِّعُوا لَهُ إِلَّا شُفِّعُوا فِيهِ. When a large group of people pray funeral prayer for a deceased person, they are granted intercession for the deceased. Now, if you look at all the hadiths, then the minimum number is 40. 40. Who do not commit shirk. Their prayer will be granted. And whatever we ask Allah to forgive the soul of our fellow brother, sister who passed away, Allah will forgive them. Ameen. Commenting on Ibn Abbas above hadith, Shamul Haq al-Abadi said, this hadith indicate that it is recommended to gather a large number of people for janazah prayer. It should be attempted to reach the number of 40 because that could lead to success in the forgiveness of the deceased. But this has been restricted by two conditions. Even a lot of people is there to perform the funeral prayer. They are restricted by two conditions. Number one, they should seriously intercede for him, which means that they should be sincere in making dua and ask Allah to forgive the deceased. It's not just you are standing there and participate in the prayer. And that's why the funeral prayer is not only the Imam recite the dua, the supplication. Every single person who participates will have to recite. When do you recite that? In the third takbir and the fourth one. Because funeral prayer is very simple, brother. There's no bowing, there is no prostrating. Just stand behind the Imam, 3 rows, and you stand very close to one another. You don't have to have extra space behind. You can stand maybe just 1 feet behind the first saf. You form another saf, another row. Make sure you have divide into 3 rows. This is the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Even say you have 10 persons who participate in the funeral prayer, you divide the 10 into 3 rows. And then when the Imam start, and how do you stand? Everything is guided by Islam. There's no confusion at all if you follow the guidance. If the deceased is a female, example, if you're looking at me and looking at you, say that I'm facing the Qibla. So you can put the head of the deceased person, right or left, is not a big issue. But if he's a man, then the Imam will stand facing the head. If he is a woman, then we will stand in the middle, where the belly is. When you see an Imam stand there, you know that the deceased is a female, that deceased is a male. Then we start to make the janazah prayer only 4 takbirat minimum. The Prophet did perform funeral prayer until 9 takbirat, 9, but we are not used to it. But if you come across people do more than 4, don't say they are wrong. People who have no knowledge, something is wrong today. But the Prophet even performed 9 takbirat. But let us focus on the 4 that is common to all of us. The first takbirat, Allahu Akbar. You recite Surat Al-Fatiha, the opening chapter. Everybody have memorized that. Easy. Everybody must recite. You don't just leave it to the Imam, because everybody is participating in making dua. The second one, Allahu Akbar. Then you recite Salawatun al-Nabi, like what we used to recite in our last tashahud before we give salam in our prayer. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka hamidun majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka hamidun majid. There's an example. There are many salawat. Any of the salawat taught by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you can just apply it. Then the third takbir comes, Allahu Akbar. Then you make dua. Every one of us who participate in the funeral prayer make dua, not only the Imam, because the Imam don't recite aloud. Everybody recite silently. Allahumma fillahu warhamhu wa'afihi wa'afu anhu until the end. Or Allahumma fil hayyina wa maytina wa shahidina wa ghaibina wa saghirina wa kabirina wa zakarina wa unsana until the end. I have taught all my students about this prayer, and we have a special book also on this to just show us how to perform the funeral prayer. And I always like to make it as simple, as easy as possible. Then the last takbir, you can add Allahumma la tahrimna ajrahu wa la tudillana ba'dahu. Then you give salam. Salam just enough, just sufficient enough by giving salam to the right. Some will also give salam to the left, but most of the time the Prophet perform janazah prayer, he give salam to the right. Yeah, there are also hadith said to the left, but most of the time he give only one salam. Finish. There is nothing to add anymore after that. Then the funeral is ready to be moved to the graveyard. So we need to know that those who want to ask Allah for forgiveness, they must be sincere. And then the second condition, they should all be a true Muslim. None among them commit shirk. That's what the Prophet said. Those people who perform the prayer, if they commit shirk, their prayer has no value. They have no value. Anyone who still asks Allah for this and that, and while they are doing that, asking Allah, they are committing shirk. They wear talisman, they hang amulets here and there. Khalas. There's no connection with Allah. When you commit shirk, your connection to Allah is cut off. That's why nobody can be a Muslim until he said, Ashhadu an la ilaha, then illallah. What is this shahada? Shahada in Islam started with to deny, to erase, to disconnect yourself with all other ilah, all other belief. Before we know what is Islam, maybe we believe in this, believe in that. This number bring luck, this stone bring luck, this day bring luck, so many luck. We don't believe in all this lucky day. No, day is day. There are good days, there are bad days. But we don't believe in this lucky. The word lucky do not exist in the Islamic dictionary, but it exists in the mind of all of us. So if you said, Illallah, I believe in Allah, not sufficient. Your shahada is not valid by saying, I believe in Allah. Before you want to say you believe in Allah, you have to deny the others first. That's why shahada start with La ilaha. You have to deny, disconnect. You have to erase all other belief. You believe in stone, believe in number, believe in image, and all this nonsense. You must cut it off. You clean it up. Then it's but illallah. Except Allah. Then your shahada is correct. And that's why anybody who wants to be a Muslim, if once upon a time we were a non-Muslim, we may wear a lot of things. The Buddhists will have some kind of thing to hang. The Christian also have something to hang. We have all this because we have been taught to do that. So to believe that this thing that you hang will protect you. You cannot, while making shahada, you still hang all this kind of thing on the body. No, you must take it out. No more. They say, nafi, you have to deny. Then it's but. Now you affirm. The only one that you believe now is Allah, la sharika lah. And there's nothing that you have made a partner beside him. No more shirk. Then only your shahada is valid. Remember the second one, they should be a true Muslim who are free from shirk. Now we continue to the other subtitle, Supplication over the grave. For those who miss the funeral prayer in the masjid or at home, The Prophet ﷺ taught and said various supplication during the janazah, prayer over the grave. There are many dua. Anyone that you can see in the hadith, authentic hadith, you can just apply, no problem at all. But don't add more than that, because no one knows how to perform a funeral prayer more than Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You don't have to add any extra thing, because whatever the Prophet have taught us, not every one of us, majority of us don't even remember. So why must you go and add other kind of supplication? When the supplication taught by us and Allah wants us to follow the Prophet, the Messenger, why don't we just follow? Shaitan always try to mislead us to do extra that is not taught by Allah and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we feel good. I think it's good to do something extra. Anything extra in prayer will be rejected. There is the difference between the Islamic prayer and the un-Islamic prayer. Un-Islamic prayer, you can say anything you like. But Islamic prayer is fixed by Allah, taught by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If there is that, you recite. If there's none, just don't add. Simple as that. It's ready-made, brother and sister. Ayyawma akmaltu lakum dinakum. I have perfected the religion for you. Allah said that. So don't try to be smart and say, what's wrong? There's no hadith, no, but what's wrong? I have good intention. Good intention do not give you the right to plus and minus anything in the Islamic way of worshipping. Just like, what's wrong if I want to pray Fajr, normally it's 2 rakat, I want to add 1 more rakat. Can you do that? You can't. Even your intention is good. What's wrong if I do not want to read At-Tahiyyatul Mubarakatul Salawatul Tayyibatu Lillah in the Tashahud? I want to replace with Yasin wal Quranil Hakim. This is good ayat. Surah Yasin, everybody love Yasin. Can you do that? You can't, because it's not taught by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. None of the companion does it. None of the great scholars does. You cannot just, I think this is okay, I'm reciting Quran. But that is not the place. Please remember that, brothers. A lot of people always give us very confused statement and guidance. Say, oh, it's okay, there's no saying from the Prophet that you cannot. No, there's nothing to wait for. You cannot, anything to do with act of worship, you don't do until there is a evidence, a command. Until there is a hadith to say so. There is ibadah. You don't have to wait, but there is no saying that the Prophet forbid us. No, you don't have to wait for that. There's the wrong kind of foundation. We don't have the right understanding in religion anymore. Give you some example. Supplication during the janazah prayer, while you are praying in a mosque, in the masjid, or in the house, and over the grave. That means after we have buried the deceased, is there a supplication? Yes. Obviously, he did this because of their beneficial outcome for the dead. He brings a lot of good things for those who are living and those who have passed away. Example, Osman, the third caliph of our Prophet, the son-in-law of our Prophet, Osman ibn Affan radiallahu anhu, reported that after finishing burying a Muslim, the Prophet would stand over the grave and say, Osman said that he was with the Prophet at the graveyard. Then he witnessed what the Prophet does when after the burial. Waqafa Rasulullah ala qabri. The Prophet chose to stand, not to sit. It's a respect to all the people who are in the grave. They don't recommend you to sit unless you just can't stand. Then maybe there's some tools that you want to use to sit, but he don't choose to sit. Traditionally we always prepare something for people to sit, some mattress, so on, but we don't do that. The Prophet chose to stand, so we all stand. And what did the Prophet do? Then he will call those who are around there, who send the deceased to the graveyard, who participate at the burial, to come closer, and he said, Istaghfiru li akhikum. Remember, I was saying the holistic teaching in Islam, it covers from cradle to grave. That is our SOP, cradle to grave. Istaghfiru li akhikum. Thumma sallallahu salu lahu tasbita wa du'u lahu tasbita fa innahu al-an yus'al. Seek Allah's forgiveness for your brothers or your sister who we just buried, and implore that he will be granted firmness of word. Indeed, he is being questioned now. Meaning, the body is being buried. After a while, Q&A is coming in. Whether you want to believe or not, brother and sister, of course, it's up to you, it's up to me. But I choose to believe because this is what the Prophet said. That we are going to be questioned by the angel Munkar wa Nakir. And they are going to ask us, who the one who died? We cannot ask him, we cannot teach him anymore. That is not the right place to teach. Oh, Fulan and Fulan, those who just passed away. If the angel of Munkar come and ask you, Ma Rabbuka, said Allahu Rabbi, Ma Dinuka, said Islam Dini, Wa Man Nabiyuka, said Muhammad Sallallahu is your prophet. It's too late, he can't hear you anymore. Innaka la tusmi'ul mauta wa la tusmi'u man fil qubur. Allah said to Prophet Muhammad, you cannot make the dead hear you, neither you can make the one who's in the grave hear you anymore. You cannot teach them. If you want to teach, you teach them while they are still alive. That's what you always remind all the good brothers and sisters in the beginning of the class. Don't forget to say, Raditu billahi rabba wa bil islami dina wa bi muhammadin nabi. This is what we have been reminding all of us, to prepare ourselves for a good ending. If you are not prepared now, we are worried you will not be prepared for your ending. So it's good for us to remember all this now. If you still forget, you should remember by today. Raditu billahi rabba wa bil islami dina wa bi muhammadin nabiyya. It's very simple, short, easy to remember. The Prophet said, whoever recite this, of course, with commitment, with belief, Allah is very pleased with us. You make Allah very happy because you acknowledge Him as your Lord, the true God. And you submit yourself to the teaching of Islam. You're following Islam. You're not following anything else except Islam. And you have chosen Prophet Muhammad to be your messenger. And you follow his sunnah. Allahu Akbar. This is what the Prophet wants all of us to do. Hmm? Aisha also reported, the wife of our Prophet ﷺ, often went to Al-Baqi graveyard. You know where is Baqi? Baqi is just beside Masjid Nabawiyah in Medina. Yeah. Whoever will go to Medina, they will pray in the mosque of the Prophet, they are sure to see Baqi. Yeah? When you are out from the gate of Baqi, you enter Babu Salam gate for the male, you can pass through the graveyard of the Prophet, and then you will go out from the gate of Baqi, facing Baqi. And I love to recommend all the brothers, only brothers, because the sisters are not allowed to enter the graveyard. Only the brothers. Please, when you are in Medina, don't miss the opportunity to enter the graveyard of Baqi, where a lot of the companion was buried there, the family of the Prophet was buried there. Prophet was not buried there, he was buried in Maqam known to us, Maqam Rasulullah, in the house of the Prophet with Aisha. The same go to Abu Bakr and Umar. Now, if you want to enter Baqi, you only can enter by following a funeral. After the funeral prayer, immediately you must rush out from Baqi gate, and sloop, there will be a funeral passing by. You just join them. Then they allow you to enter. I like all the brothers to enter, to experience by yourself the way the Prophet taught us to manage and to do what we have to do at the graveyard. Not like our way. We have funny ways. Those who are very emotional, they are going to bring flower and all this kind of thing and water. We don't need that, because it's not taught by our Prophet ﷺ. To see how simple the Muslim graveyard is. Even the King Faisal graveyard is as simple as just any Muslim. But he was the king. But when he died, he was buried together with others. And very simple, you go there and visit his graveyard. It's normal, no special building been built. Allahu Akbar. It's good. Aisha said that the Prophet often went to Baqi graveyard to supplicate for the dead, and he told her, Inni umirtu an ad'u lahum. I was instructed by Allah to supplicate for them. That's why the Prophet always prayed for the deceased. So we, as his followers, should also remember them. Don't think that one gone is bygone. No. It's a reminder to us. Our parents have gone. We may have to follow them one day. So it's good for us to remember them, so we remember ourselves, to prepare ourselves before it's too late. Aisha also reported that the Prophet ﷺ would go to Al-Baqi late at night, sometimes. Normally we Muslims fear to go to the graveyard at night. Fear of what? Fear of ghosts. This ghost story is a story made by us. It's a drama, nothing from Islam. I don't know why we start to come up with this kind of movie sometimes, or drama. Yeah, they're not yet Muslim, the non-believer, they can do anything. To them, everything is a fun. To us, this is not fun. And the worst thing, but Alhamdulillah, yeah, they have stopped doing. The people who try to make pictures at the graveyard, with couple like honeymoon or going, if you want to get married, it's a happy occasion. You don't bring a married couple, or the wedding couple to the graveyard. That is not the right time. But alhamdulillah, we realized it's a mistake. It's a disrespect to the dead. Even the dead one, they are no more here, but we must show respect. That's why when you enter the graveyard, when the graveyard is so close to one another, you must be careful not to step on other people's grave. You must honor that. That's why the Prophet encouraged you to take up your sandal, so that when you don't wear anything, you are careful with your steps. But if you're wearing something, you may not be careful because you don't step on anything that is hard, because you have shoes to help you, to comfort you. So Aisha reported that the Prophet would go to Baqi' late at night. Remember, brother and sister, we don't believe in this ghost that the living is coming back. No, gone, Barzakh. They have been warned and sealed from coming back. The one that will disturb you is the jinn. When the Prophet go to the graveyard, when he see graveyards, he always start by saying, Assalamu'alaikum darul qawmi mu'minin wa inna wa iyyakum wa ma tu'aduna ghada mu'ajjaluna wa inna inshaAllah bikum lahikun Allahumma ighfir lahum. Peace be on you. This is the adab when you enter a graveyard, brother and sister. We are so far from the teaching of our Prophet Islam. When you enter the graveyard, majority of us who want to send and participate in the burial of somebody, we don't even do this minimum thing. We are so busy with talking, chatting among ourselves. We don't even have this simple adab. You are not going into just any playground. Any graveyard that you enter is a reminder for you and me. So the minimum, like you enter a house, you know there's somebody there, you must at least say Assalamu'alaikum. You cannot just push in. No adab. People can chase you away. When you enter the graveyard, of course, they are not there to respond to your salam, but it is your duty, my duty, to remind ourselves that you are enter a different zone. A zone that you are making a prayer, peace be on you, oh, the people of the grave. Of course, you are praying for the believing people. Qawmin mu'minin. We and you and whatever you have been promised are all postponed for tomorrow, the judgment day. Even you are there, but the judgment is not there. The Q&A is there, but the judgment day is not yet there for any one of us until the doom days take place. Then Al-Akhirah will come in. And indeed, we will follow you when Allah will. Oh Allah, forgive them. It's a reminder that you are there earlier than us, but we are coming too. We are going to join you in this environment. It's a reminder. The popular one is, we say, Assalamu'alaikum ahlad diyana minal mu'minin wal muslimin. Wa inna inshaAllah bikum lahiqun. Antum lana faratun wa nahnu lakum taba. As'alallahu lana wa lakum al-afiyah. Peace be on you, dweller of this place of believers and Muslims. So we are offering a prayer to them. Salam to them is a prayer. Indeed, we will surely follow you when Allah's will. We are sure to come to the same place. You have preceded us and we will follow you. I ask Allah to grant well-being to us and you. Each time, brother and sister, when you see a grave, a Muslim grave, give salam. Remember, they are our family. Pray for them. When you do that, it reminds you that one day you are going to be there too. How beautiful, if we keep on remember to pray for our fellow brothers and sisters each time we pass the graveyard. Even by passing through, you see the graveyard, Assalamu'alaikum. Of course, you don't have to raise up your hand. You just make a prayer, Assalamu'alaikum. Ya ahlad diyar minal mu'minin wal muslimin wa inna inshaAllah bikum lahiqun. Yaghfirullahu lana wa lakum. May Allah forgive all of you and also forgive us. That is the least that we can do. But we are so careless, heedless, we don't bother. It's like this has nothing to do with me. Can you imagine how selfish we are? How careless and heedless we are? If everybody would think like you and me, today I don't care, what will happen to us when we die? Do you think people will care for you? People will have the same kind of attitude. Do you like this kind of thing to happen? I don't like that to happen to me. So each time when I enter a graveyard, a Muslim graveyard, I will start with a prayer. At least. You don't even have to raise up your hand. Just salam, Assalamu'alaikum ya ahlad diyar. And you don't pray only for one. Assalamu'alaikum to all of them. Because all the Muslim and the believer is our family. Not only in this life, we are family from dunya ila al-akhirah. That is the difference. Our relationship is not just here. But with the disbeliever, you just cannot do anymore for them because they choose not to believe. So you have to leave them to Allah. But among people who believe, we have been blessed until today. And I always remind the elders that if anyone who died with La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah Allahu Akbar, you'll be the luckiest. I use the word luckiest. You'll be blessed. Why? Because your soul will be prayed by billions of Muslims every single day, free of charge. Because Muslims perform prayer 5 times a day. There is a minimum. They got the extra, the optional prayer. Then each prayer, they will end with the tahiyyat, the tashahud. And the tashahud have a prayer for all Muslims who are alive and those who have passed away. They don't even have to mention your name, but the prayer is for all the Muslims and the believers. So you don't feel lonely, you don't feel abandoned. There will be somebody always pray for your soul. And this special gift, this special unique relationship and prayer do not exist in any other religion. They got to fix the time. They got to inform the people. Because we pray 5 times a day, automatically the prayer is in for everybody. So there's a lot of benefit to die as a believing Muslim, male or female. And that's why we always remind all our brothers and sisters who have family who are not yet a Muslim. Don't give up hope on them. Try your best, show good character, so that you care and you love them for the sake of Allah, and remind them about La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. We may be able to save their soul so that they qualify themselves to receive all the dua, the supplication from the Muslim by billion every single day. For those who are not following the guidance of Islam, maybe you are ignorant, you do not know Islam is for you, and the prayer of the Muslim is for every believing male and female. We welcome you to seek the truth, and we welcome you to Islam, and it's sure to benefit you, brother and sister, because we pray for our Muslim brother and sister every single day, and you will be in our prayer. And we hope that when we pass away, the next generation to come will also pray for all of us. This is the connection that we have as Muslim brothers and sisters. Please remember that we have a responsibility towards one another. Other than reminding each other when they are alive to do what is good, forbid them what is bad, we still pray for one another. This also reminds us, don't be judgmental. They have sins, we also have sins. Let us keep on praying and hope Allah will guide them and guide us. Forgive them, forgive us. You remember the early hadith I said that the Prophet had said that anyone who pray for a Muslim, male or female, Allah also will grant them, with a good deeds. Allah will reward us. This is what I like to end today from Ubadah radiyallahu anhu, reported that Prophet ﷺ said, Man istaghfara lil mu'minin wal mu'minat kataballahu lahu bi kulli mu'min wa mu'minatin hasanah. So don't take this prayer lightly. Simple prayer. Istaghfiru li akhim. Oh Allah, forgive the sin of my fellow brother Muslim and sisters. That's all. Whoever seek forgiveness for the believing man and woman, Allah record for him or her a good deed for every believing male and female. Allahu Akbar. There is so much to gain from Allah. Just do little thing and Allah will reward us. Brothers and sisters, that's what we want to end today with this hadith, so that we are not stingy, selfish in making dua. And the dua is for everybody. The rest, leave it to Allah. But remember two things. To make our prayer accepted by Allah, you must be sincere in your prayer. And the Prophet have said that if you pray for somebody without they ask you to pray for them, wow, the quality is very, very good. Of course, sometimes we forget, people remind us, it's also good. But it is come from your heart, sincerely, super. And the second, but very, very basic thing that you must remember. While you are making dua, make sure you free yourself from any type of shirk, minor or major. May Allah accept our prayer, forgive our sins and the sin of our fellow Muslim brother and sister, our family member who have passed away before us as a Muslim and a believer. Amin. Ya Rabbal Alamin. Now we are open for Q&A. Fatafadda. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The sister Tarathus from US. May Allah reward you, your family, and our Jum'ah and Jama'ah. My internet is down, so I cannot attend. Allahu Akbar. May Allah make it easy for you. Even you are not with us today, Sister Tara, that you have the reward from Allah because you have been very consistent in following, make us very, very happy with your presence. Even you are not with us today because of the internet, but you are with us, in our mind, in our heart. Walaikum salam. Assalamu'alaikum. Walaikum salam warahmatullah from Yahya Basalama, Indonesia. Welcome to our enrichment program. Barakallah. So, Walaikum salam to all the brothers and sisters who offer the salam to us. We have another brother or maybe a sister from Sumatra. Alhamdulillah. Can we make the dua for the janazah prayer in our own language if you don't memorize the dua in Arabic? Yeah, the dua outside the normal prayer. The prayer that starts with Allahu Akbar, like the janazah prayer, and end with salam, all must be in one language, Arabic. Other than that, of course, you can do in any other language. Must our dua during the janazah prayer be limited to the deceased and their family only, or we can make it dua for ourselves and our ummah as well? There are dua only for them. There are also a general dua. That's why in my small booklet on funeral prayer, I shared with all of my students two types of dua. One is to the particular person who died, and the second one is to everybody, including us who are still alive. Yeah? Male, female, is a general dua. So we can choose among the specific dua and the general dua. Waalaikum salam warahmatullah. Idul Adha is nearing. Qurban meat or akikah meat, is it permissible to share with non-Muslim who's needy? Yes, any halal meat we can share with them. Yeah, there's nothing wrong. Anything halal for us, halal for them. Sometimes we are worried that we have this kind of understanding that anything halal only for Muslim. The priority, of course, we give to those who are closer to us, but even akikah for the newborn, 1/3 is for the poor and needy, 1/3 is for us as a family, and 1/3 you can give to anybody. Everything that is halal for us is always made halal for others. There's only one kind of qurban that is not halal for those who perform qurban nazar. You have a nazar, that nazar you cannot consume, is for other people. Yeah? This is to show us that the goodness in Islam is for everybody. We welcome everybody. I would like to remind my good fellow brothers and sisters, if a not yet Muslim want to join you in a prayer, join us in our prayer, the way we pray, they just want to join us. Don't stop. This is the opening to welcome them. But of course, if they say, can I join the funeral prayer? Why not just let them join? Of course, we know the condition is not fulfilled by them, but to expose to them. Maybe doing that, you open their heart and they may make shahada, Allahu Akbar. But if they said, can you allow us to do our way of prayer on the Muslim graveyard? We say, lakum dinukum waliyadin. Please, we have our way and you have your way. But in our graveyard, we only allow the Islamic way of prayer. It's important. We must know the limit that we can welcome them, the limit that we don't, because everything there is a limit. It's just like can we go and visit the graveyard of the non-Muslim? Yes, the Prophet never forbid you. But can you offer prayer? No, because they don't believe what we believe. Lakum dinukum waliyadin. So may Allah bless us, brothers and sisters, and may Allah accept our prayer, and please don't forget to pray for all the Muslim and the believer wherever they are, whether you know them by name or not. And we always remind ourselves too, especially when you hear some Muslim pass away somewhere, even in Kashmir, Pakistan, India, US, anywhere. When you hear a Muslim pass away, your duty is number one, say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. All of us came from Allah, and to Allah we return, and then we said, Allahumma fillahu. Ask Allah to forgive the soul of our fellow family Muslim who passed away. And lastly, before I forget, for those who are able to attend a funeral prayer near to your place, you don't have to wait for an invitation to go for a funeral prayer. Those family who pass away, they may be very busy, they don't remember to invite who. It's different when you want to attend a wedding where there are food prepared for you. If you are not invited, you cannot go because we are worried they have fixed the number of attendees. Because this involves food. You don't want to burden people. You only go for a wedding for food when you are invited. But when come to funeral, don't say, nobody invite me. As a Muslim, you invite yourself. And that is our adab. So may Allah reward us, brothers and sisters, for feeling for one another, care for each other in our prayer. And lastly, there's our last question just came in. How can we ensure our grave to be according to the Sunnah when all the graveyard around our area like to do extra? We just have to remind them what we want for the people that we have buried them. Is our immediate family say, please, I don't want any building, no cement. You don't have to put grass, green grass. We don't need it. A graveyard is a graveyard. It's not a garden. Please remember. That's why I said I like people who go to Medina, because Medina you have more time and it's very close to the mosque of the Prophet. Please try to visit Baqi' graveyard to see how simple. Can you imagine the graveyard was there from the time of the Prophet until today? It's not so. The graveyard is not huge, but people are still allowed to be buried there until today. Because it's simple. Follow the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. So we follow the Sunnah. people who don't know will do what they want to do for some culture. But we as a Muslim who understand the Sunnah of the Prophet, we will make sure we follow the Sunnah of our Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. That's how we move forward. May Allah bless us, may Allah forgive us, and may Allah make us love Allah and the Sunnah of the Prophet more than our tradition, our culture, our norm. Because that has no value in the graveyard. There's no value in the kubur and also in Barzakh. Allah will not ask you about your tradition. He will ask you about your deen. Do you follow Islam or you follow tradition? And he will ask you, do you follow people or you follow Muhammad? We must say Muhammad. How can you say Muhammad when you don't follow his Sunnah? How can you say Islam when you don't follow the Islamic way? May Allah bless you. Hope all of you have remembered Raditu billahi rabba wa bil islami dina wa bi Muhammadin nabiyya. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.